Dean, how are you feeling going into the grand final series, mate?
Feeling excited. It was an amazing series that we just came through. Could you think of a better way to prepare for a final than the runs that went in that game and how resilient you had to be as a team. And one area that continues to come up is us continuing to improve our rebounding, and it did as the series went along. But we doubled down on a number of areas against Illawarra and the challenges that they present.
Just in those final seconds, Jesse's three goes in. What are you thinking at that stage, mate?
Oh, he hadn't missed a three, so the whole series, and he missed a couple early in the game. But big time player. Always made big shots, but I looked up there and was like, oh, we got time to go the other way, and so just try to get my own focus on what was the best play for that situation, and the boys executed it to perfection.
What was your message to the team after that game?
After the game,
Yeah.
I don't really talk to the team after the game, but we've got our own little celebration in these finals after the game. Told them they were privileged to be a part of such just an elite game of basketball.
What did you make of Henry Gaze's comments that it was one of the best games in the world you'd see that game through?
I don't like to compare. You put that up against games in the Olympics or whatever it was, but we just know it was an elite game of basketball. The shot making for both teams. The defensive effort was there, but when you get to a game three, it's like, what's going to drop off a little bit? Is it the defensive intensity going to drop off a little bit? Is it the physicality? Is it the offense? And not too much dropped off. Just the offense and the shot making was so much better.
And Dean, Chris touched on momentum. How important is momentum heading into this final series?
Yeah, well, the momentum right now is that we just came off a good win, so we're feeling good about ourselves. You go up, we know we've got to win one up there. And I guess that's the message that I preached this morning, to say, we have to find a way to win one up there. The earlier, if you can, the earlier you can get that one, the better. But it's not like a do or die. We know we've just got to win our home games and find a way to win one up there. Both teams are coming off good wins, so
How hostile can these environments get? I mean, game one up in the Winners Entertainment Centre, how hostile is it going to be heading into there?
The Perth crowd was absolutely amazing in the game over there in game two, and the Illawarra crowd is probably a little bit more on top of you as well, and they look like they got after it last night. So more about us saying, hey, it's just going to be a fun environment, but sometimes it's going to be so loud that your huddles have to be so good, your communication with each other has to be so on point that we all get on the same page.
And do you take anything from watching the Hawks knock down 70 points in the first half? Does that help your scout, or does it come into your thinking at all?
Yeah, we just know how potent an offensive team they can be when they're playing at pace, making three balls and getting offensive rebounds. And so, you combined those three things, which they had last night, and it's, again, our like everybody this year, it's how can you slow them down? How can you, both in the full court offense and in the half court offense, you've got to find ways to just make the ball slow down a little bit, because they're flying around at that kind of pace. They're the toughest team to guard, as they've shown all year, being the highest scoring team in the league.
Does defense win the grand final series, do you think?
It didn't win game three the other night. It was more offense that won it, but we'll have. They've got elite guards, just like Perth did, and so I think that's where it prepares us well to say, we just dealt with the MVP, and now we're dealing with two guys that were all-star five guards as well, and so, making sure that we contain those guys in some regard, and then it's the next level of those guys. And Blanchfield was, a shooter last night. Days, is a shooter as well. Froles has played some good games against us as well. So, but we got to take care of those two guards to start with.
What did you make of Trey Kell in particular, and how do you stop him?
Yeah, 26 in the first half. I thought he just had a lot of space to do what he wants to do, and he does a good job of selling fouls to get to the foul line. But yeah, his shot making off the bounce from the 3 last night was exceptional, and we just got to make sure we get our on-ball coverage right, because he wants to get back to that area and play with his big and get into that 2-man game. So, how do we negate that one?
Dean, you've got an edge on experience in this team over those guys. Do you think that could be a factor? Have you been there before? Have you done that? What sort of role do you think the experience will play for you guys?
Yeah, I hope so. We've got these guys that have been through so many things in world basketball and so many situations, and we rely on whatever scout we put on the floor, that they're in agreement with it, or they can make it better and they can add value to whatever we're doing. So they're going to be composed in situations. They're going to be solution-based, as we were after game 2. It's like, what do we need to do better, and let's go out and do it with a force. The semi-final series last year was an unbelievable series, and so I think they take a lot of experience out of being in that series with us last year, and just trying to find a couple of things that they can do better. Containing their pace in that series last year, it was something that you keep looking at, and they're going to play fast a lot, and so making sure that we get quality shots every time and our offense is going to be important.
Did you tweak much coaching-wise to allow Ian Clark to have such a great game offensively, and is that something you look to maintain going forward?
Yeah, I think we just wanted to, ensure CG was, had some really good juice down the stretch, and so we didn't quite play him as much in the first half. And with him off the floor, we put more of a load on Ian to say, hey, we just need a bit more scoring for you in the first half, and that was obviously a good message for him, because he really got cooking. And then the 2 of them in the second half, where they were both pretty fresh. But Ian was amazing at both ends for us, to say, now you're guarding Bryce Cotton when Shea Illy's not guarding him, and doing a really solid job. So I just thought his all-round performance was amazing.
Do you ever just look down the roster and think, geez, how lucky I am to have Delhi and Ian on this team, and the other guys?
Yeah, they've got NBA championship experience, and so and they're great people, and they want to see others succeed. So I do look at our roster at times and say I'm fortunate to have the players that I do.
Good luck.
Cheers, thanks.
Thank you.